Alright, so for this video, you're going to be creating a circle fade in chalk pastel. So the goal of the circle fade is for you to go from dark to medium to light to medium to dark again. So basically you're going to do this technique, which is dark to light to dark, within a circular space. So the hardest part about this is that you have to curve your strokes as you go along. And I'm going to share with you how to flip your paper about halfway through. So first things first, like I said in the other dark to light dark video, so the one when I did this, you got to choose a color that's either medium range darkness to dark. So I like to use and demonstrate with red just because it's a medium range color. It's not too dark, it's not too light, so it works for a variety of techniques. Choose one where your dark towards your outside is going to be a decent darkness. So red, blue, green, purple, black, brown, any of those colors would work for your initial color fade. For your second color, I'm going to use white. Any lighter color will work. So if you want to do this as an analogous fade, something like pink or yellow or orange, peach will also work. Make sure this is cleaned off, so I'm cleaning this off as we speak. Right here like this. To do your circle fade, you really got to wrestle this paper down, and toward the outside I am going to curve my strokes the most. Okay, I've got to hit the top and the bottom. If I don't hit the top and the bottom, I have this really awkward bald patch. And as I go across my circle, I'm going to let up my pressure. Okay, I'm also going to have less curved strokes. So see how toward the outside I'm like curving a lot, and as I get towards the center, like right in here, it's almost straight up and down. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to doctor up my edges a little bit before I flip the paper. For me, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to flip the paper because it's easier for me to do the left-hand side of the paper more accurately. So basically I'm going to do again what I just did, which was curving my strokes a lot, hitting the top and the bottom, and pressing really hard towards the outside, and as I go across the page, letting up to lighter pressure and lightest pressure. And I'm going to fill in the gaps in my color just because I know how important that initial fade is. Okay, so something that looks like this will be a pretty decent initial fade. Okay, and I'm just kind of filling that in. So I've hit the top, I've hit the bottom, I've curved my strokes. Now with your second color, so that's your white, so your lighter color, remember you're going to use this as the blender. So you're going to press decently hard with this just until those little white flecks go away, and then leave your outermost edges with your darker color, which is you should have pressed pretty hard with that. Now the hard part is I start my strokes with this almost straight up and down, and then as I gradually go across the page, pressing hard with this, I'm gradually curving more and more as I get to the outermost edges. So I have something that looks like this, and I'm not taking this color all the way to the edge because I want to make sure I have a little hint of my darker color. Now what's hard about this is basically the point of my chalk pastel. The point of my chalk pastel is a little bit dirty right now. It's got the darker red on it, so I did clean it off before. I'm going to flip the paper and do the same thing because I'm going to start in the center and work my way outward. What would happen if I did it the opposite way? If I went this way and worked my way inward, I would just drag my darker color into the center, and we know that the center needs to be lighter so it looks like it has that highlight, so it looks three-dimensional. Again, pressing really hard with my lighter color until little white flecks go away. So right in here, I'm going to let off. And then at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and use my finger to blend. So at this point in time, in fact, I'll do it a little bit differently for both sides. You can see what you like best. I'm going to recommend that you make sure that you don't have any powder on your fingers, which I don't. And for most kids, you're going to need to start in the center, work your way out, switch fingers, start in the center, work your way out. Sometimes you might have to smear from darkest to lightest toward the edge. It just depends on how your initial fade looks. So I'm using my finger to start in the middle and work my way outward, okay, to set this powder. Wow, that looks really cool. Look at my finger right now, though. It's kind of like the same color as the outermost side of my circle. If I put that in the middle, it makes it significantly darker. So I'm going to switch fingers to this one. And I'm going to do the same thing this way. As I go across, I'm curving my strokes. It's going to look something like that. Okay. So I have something that fades very gradually from light to medium to dark. Look at my fingers. Oh my gosh. So this actually looks pretty decent. Hopefully yours will look better.